Let's talk about Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Right now, this team is 2-1. They have a long ways to go. I still think they're in that rebuilding stage. Jayden Daniels is a superstar. We saw what he was able to do against the Cincinnati Bengals. I said this when he went against the Giants last week. There is something special about this kid when he led them to that game-winning drive. He doesn't turn the football over, even in college, his last season with LSU. He's able to throw across the middle of the field and on the outside as well. It was so many negative reports with Jayden Daniels. He doesn't work his way to the middle of the field. He's an older prospect. Can he play? And the question is yes. He went on the road against the Bengals. Primetime game Monday night. Joe Burrow puts up 33 points. The defense could not stop them in the second half. But Jayden Daniels goes out there and he continues to pick up third down after third down. They go for it on fourth down. He picks it up as well because he's a threat with his legs and with his arm as well. He's not your typical scrambling quarterback. When he takes off from inside the pocket, he's not looking to run. He's looking for receivers deep down the field, like how he was with Terry McLaurin and Luke McCaffrey last night and with Zach Ertz as well. This receiving core still has a long ways to go. You have a very good wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. He's one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. He's put up over 1,000 receiving yards every single season in his career besides his rookie season. And he has dealt with terrible quarterback play year after year after year. This kid is special. Let's go back to last season. You had Sam Howell, major gunslinger, and there's still potential for him in the NFL. Led the league in turnovers, terrible offensive line, terrible play calling by Eric Bieniemy. They move off of him. They move off of that coaching staff of Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio because it was a terrible coaching staff from top to bottom. You bring in Dan Quinn, who helped the Atlanta Falcons go to the Super Bowl. Yes, they lost 28-3 against the Patriots, but it was a magical season that season for the Falcons. Dan Quinn goes over to the Dallas Cowboys, becomes a very good defensive coordinator. Look at their defense now without Dan Quinn. We know that he's going to eventually get this defense right. And they were dealing with injuries last night. Austin Eckler left the game early due to a concussion. So they did not have him as the running back option. It was just Brian Robinson Jr. and Jeremy McNichols. Not only was Jayden Daniels the leading passer, obviously he's going to be that because he's a starting quarterback, but he was their leading rusher as well. He had more total touchdowns than he had incompletions on the day. He was 21-23 on the day for 254 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns, 39 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and he was throwing lasers to Terry McLaurin. If you had any doubts about this kid, he answered them last night on the road against a tough Bengals team. Yes, the Bengals are 0-3, but let's not go out there and discredit them because the Washington Commanders beat them. They still have Trey Hendrickson on that defensive line. They still have Sam Hubbard. Cam Taylor-Britt is a solid cornerback. He got a crazy interception last week against Patrick Mahomes. This is the same defense that went out there and made Patrick Mahomes look average. And I understand they match up with them very well. And football is about matchups. But this kid really, let's be honest here, just one true veteran wide receiver. Luke McCaffrey is a rookie, and he played well last night. Zach Ertz is an aging tight end. And he did this without his top running back in Austin Eckler, who can catch the football at the backfield and run in between the tackles for majority of the game. They didn't even attempt to run the football as much when Austin Eckler went down. And this is an offensive line that is still dealing with problems. Last night they played very well, but Jayden Daniels was taking hits inside the pocket, and he continued to deliver the football on a dime. This kid is special. They have not punted the football in the last 2 weeks. He leads them to a game-winning drive against the New York Giants. They go out there and they beat a potential Super Bowl contender to some people's eyes before the season started in the Bengals with Joe Burrow. This is a confidence win for them moving forward, and they're 2-1. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to go out there, they're going to dominate the division, they're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to go out there, they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a good chance they may beat the Dallas Cowboys. Their defense continues to be on the decline that they're on right now. But Jayden Daniels is a monster. This kid is special. Every single question you may have, he has answered it every single week. In week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how will he respond to the blitz? He responded very well. He did not turn the football over. How did he look against New York Giants? Poised, in the pocket, stood tall. Can he take big hits at this level? He's going to slide and get himself out of bounds anyway. He's not taking too many big hits. And he can juke around as well. He's not this type of quarterback that's going to go out there and play reckless like RG3. I haven't seen a quarterback prospect like this with this organization since RG3. And I have said it over and over again. Right now, I do believe that he is a better passer than RG3 was at this level of his career as a rookie. They have to just continue to take care of him. The offensive line has to play better from week to week, but the offensive line looks better. Cliff Kingsbury, give him a lot of credit. I had a lot of questions about him as an offensive play caller. The last time he was a coach in the NFL, he was the head coach and the main offensive play caller for the Cardinals. It wasn't particularly good. He called a very good game plan last night against the Bengals. He called up a very good game against the New York Giants in the second half as well. He calls a lot of screens over and over again, but eventually he'll make the team come and play up, and Terry McLaurin is beating you over top. Cam Taylor-Britt said that Cliff Kingsbury runs a nice, simple offense. It was simple enough to burn you not once but twice. That simple offense went out there and they put up 38 points on your neck. And that's a very good cornerback, by the way. And you also had to look at this from this standpoint. They were without their best edge rusher last night as well. Cleveland Farrell, who lead the team in sacks with 2 sacks entering last night, he missed the game. Emmanuel Forbes looks like a bust right now. He missed last night's game. I think Emmanuel Forbes should just be on the bench moving forward. The defense still had a lot of major problems with stopping Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow as a whole, but that's one of the best connections in the NFL. Dan Quinn is going to fix this defense. It is going to happen. You can't fix it in one season, but this defense will get better. We have seen Dan Quinn come into some terrible situations, and the next thing you know, the next couple of years, the defense looked good or solid at best. I think that they have some good players in that secondary to fix things around as well. Frankie Louvu is a very good linebacker that they have. I like Dorrance Armstrong as well at the defensive line position. He's yet to go out there and record a sack. Right now, he has a half a sack on the season, but he's never played with talent like Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. And you have Johnny Newton in the background as well. Sooner or later, he's going to be a starting defensive tackle for the Commanders if he can stay fully healthy. And they may move off a guy like Daron Payne or Jonathan Allen and get a high draft pick for him. Dante Fowler is a very good pass rusher in his own right as well. He is eventually going to get things going. You have Benjamin St-Juste as well. I think he's a solid cornerback to have. They have a lot of questions in that secondary. But when you look at it, that's going to happen because you're still in that transitional period. But last night's win was washing away the scent of Dan Snyder because the Commander fan base has been put through hell from year from year. Year from year, they have always been put through hell because of how terrible of an owner he was. And now you have this young, exciting quarterback that you can root for. We saw how the training camp pictures looked as soon as Dan Snyder sold the team. Fans showed back up. They were supporting the team. This was a great win for the Commanders, not only just for Jayden Daniels, but for the culture as a whole. To go out there and say, hey, you know what? If we could do that on the road against the Bengals, imagine what we can do to the Dallas Cowboys at home. Imagine what we can do to the Philadelphia Eagles at home. You continue to build on that confidence. I'm not saying they're a playoff contending team because they still have a lot of problems that they need to adjust. But they get more comfortable in this system and they get things going into the right direction with Dan Quinn, long term, they're going to be okay. You also have Bobby Wagner as well, who fits his system to a T. He played with Dan Quinn when he was the Seattle Seahawks defensive coordinator. He knows him very well. He sets guys up very well across the line of scrimmage. The Washington Commanders have something special, and I'm finally happy to see it. I've covered this team a lot over the last couple of years, and they've been through hell over and over again. I remember when they went out there and they made the draft pick to go get Jahan Dotson. Many people thought that he was going to be the number 2 receiver alongside Terry McLaurin. Just wasn't able to work out. I remember when they brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick. He dealt with injuries, was not able to work out. They have been looking for that veteran quarterback. They've been looking for that young quarterback for years now, and they have not been able to hit on it. I remember when they drafted Dwayne Haskins. God rest his soul. It didn't work out. When they had Alex Smith and things were going good, and next thing you know, he suffers a gruesome leg injury, and it wasn't able to work out. And yet he returned still on that leg, was not able to plant the leg fully down, and he played with them. I remember when Taylor Heineke went against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he had a crazy game, and it was fun. Many thought that he was going to be the guy. I remember when they brought in Carson Wentz, and Ron Rivera threw him underneath the bus on the Thursday night football game. I can go back to what happened last year against the Chicago Bears when DJ Moore went out there and had 3 receiving touchdowns. All of that hell, All of that torment has built up to this moment, and I'm happy for Washington Commander fans. They deserve this. And I hope that Jayden Daniels will be the long-term solution at the quarterback position, because if he is, it's going to be a lot of fun years for the Commander fan base as a whole. Right now, they're 2-1, and this is just a good sighting for them moving forward. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Jayden Daniels, and the team moving forward? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.